to be honest with you, we've done a whole bunch of news recording. We've already talked about, like about Fran Townsend. I don't really know if we want to just get into that again, to be honest with you. The Overwatch League lost sponsors. There you go. You know that. Basically just a bunch of sponsors have pulled ads. Some of them just kind of being a bit more like, we're not going to run ads while we review the situation, but basically that's that. And that is very bad because the Overwatch League is a big thing they hyped up to investors. Same with the Call of Duty League. So you got that going on. There's, of course, the Activision Blizzard King Workers Alliance who, did their big statement that staff are signing on to, not being happy at WilmerHale being employed to clean things up because they've got a union-busting reputation. And the likes of that going on.
Yeah, there's only so much mental damage we can take by talking about this stuff over and over again.
Yeah, and it's a part of why this is not going to be a super long stream. Honestly, me and Matt are just so fucking burnt out for the last 2 weeks. There's also, just to quickly mention this, that BlizzCon panel. I didn't pick up on this bit, but turns out she was booed by the crowd.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean that's that's what the audience were like at the time. That's what it was like then. Not to defend it or anything, but it's a case of.
I mean, even at the time, that's a bit.
Yeah, not at the time, literally, but at the time for the group. But also, I guess not even just that, but the fact that I need to see when the booing started. But yeah. Oh, well, hang on. She actually says, there's me being utterly dismissed by a panel of men who run the company at the same time having a small group of women in the audience chair, and then that immediately been drowned out by men booing, which means it's probably, men in the audience riffing off what their heroes on the stage are doing, which is going, it's fine. Try another catalog. And all the dudes are like, fucking yeah! Other catalogs. I know them by name. You're like, okay, well, I mean, that kind of... Crowd behavior dynamics, meaning that you could see how that goes so wrong so quickly.
People are so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Yeah. Ugh. Just be fucking reasonable. Oh my god.
Reasonable.
Fucking hell.
Well, apparently the audience booed right after she asked, so yeah, just the audience actually responded like boo. So
yeah. Well, I mean, certainly you do wonder, given the. There's one person from the USA in our sphere, and given her reports of her experience being a woman in America versus being a woman in Northern Ireland, I don't know. It seems like whatever's going on. I don't know what it is. I don't want to just disparage a whole bunch or whatever, because we certainly got deep problems here as well. But I don't know. Maybe it's because people generally are a bit more loud and forward over in the States. Maybe, if there's some bad thoughts, you're going to know about them a bit quicker. I couldn't exactly tell you what that is, but my God, it's certainly, some embarrassing shit. So there's that going on. Then there's also all of the negative coverage Blizzard have got, The perfect... Actually, this was an interesting one, the BBC article. I'll do a little mini thing in this. Yeah. The perfect storm striking World of Warcraft BBC News. There's trouble in World of Warcraft. Not from a rampaging dragon or a demon army attacking the land of Azeroth, but unhappy players who after 17 years have had enough. And the reason I'd bring this up, and this is a little bit old news because it's 5 days ago, but we didn't cover it. It was the last stream. They got quotes from Scott Johnson, the host of The Instance, who supplied some quotes. And, Scott would generally be pretty close to Blizzard. He was doing one-on-one interviews with Metzen. And I get the feeling a lot of his thoughts and opinions were kind of shattered. And there's a lot of feelings of betrayal for him. Just when I think about, because I used to listen to The Instance a lot when I was younger, and some of the other stuff, and just thinking about, who Scott is, the values that I'm fairly sure he has, all of those things that basically boil down to being very good and very decent. Perhaps there's a bit of a feeling of I don't know, man, it just seems like it was hard. But yeah, he said, you have the perfect storm of a lot of players, for a lot of players to hang up their Azeroth gear for good, stake out a new place to play. And where he gets to things is, it's impossible to see the real Exodus stats, Scott admitted. But based on things I have heard inside and outside the company, this might be the most drastic dip they've yet experienced. He doesn't believe the dissatisfaction is down to any one thing, but after so many years, players are used to every twist in the core gameplay. You are still iterating on the same basic systems, and I think players are hitting a point of been there, done that. That might be more widespread than in years past. And I think this is basically Scott saying that it's a mixture of things, but fundamentally, I think this whole, Legion is a big exciting. And then they just did an inferior iteration of Legion systems for BFA. And then they did I don't want to say inferior for Shadowlands, but an alternatively bizarre for sure, something like that for Shadowlands. So for a bunch of people like, okay, cool. You've just iterated over the same shit again and again and again. Can I have something new, please?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing where there's a way to read that where it's people are tired of World of Warcraft as World of Warcraft is. And I don't know if that's... I feel like something really... It's weird because everyone wants the old thing again, but good. Which kind of reads counter to how the average read of that would be.
Well,
yeah.
I think it depends on how you say it. I think this is a really important thing. Like, I will say that Wrath of the Lich King is better than, easily than Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Now, if you sort of sit down and do a point-by-point comparison of everything, you're going to realize, Wrath didn't have the most content in the universe. What you'd say back. Expansion ratings always have to be done with the norms of the time as the benchmark. It's a bit pointless to take, these events that happened every 2 years and then compare them all as if they were things to drop right the hell now. Yeah. So just when we're sort of thinking about that and we want as good as Wrath, but if you just shipped Wrath now, it would be good, but it wouldn't really be what people would want because times have moved on, standards have, sort of changed, right? And with Scott, what I think is interesting is just him saying things he's heard inside and outside of the company. I absolutely would think in the same way that I know that Cowley is pretty connected. There's a fair few people at Blizz. Scott absolutely would be the same. So whenever he says that, that does make me think, okay, right, this is worse than the confirmed dip that we had at the end of Warlords of Draenor. And frankly, because they've stopped reporting numbers, we don't even know if BFA had a dip worse than WoD. It could have. Who knows?
Yeah,
but it's rough.
They have to keep the numbers internals so they can control the narrative.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the correct decision for them.
Yep.
I have to give them that, but pretty rough. There's not a great deal else in this article because it's mostly the BBC, doing a catch-up. I like this piece of art.
I think that is probably the most striking bit of art ever created about World of Warcraft. I think.
And Carbot.
Yeah. Yeah, but an individual, if you someone hang that on their wall is just it's an homage to the a past that's now dead. It's completely and utterly
really
dead.
Rough. And I believe Scott is doing he's selling these, but it's for charity. A few different formats, and you can, if you just go to Scott's thing, you'll be able to find him.
Yeah.
So that's just a little bit of color to the whole situation. I think yes, it is a perfect storm. So many bad. It was a perfect storm before the stuff came out.
It looked bad back in April. I actually saw someone making reference to something from the past where someone's like, I can't believe a couple months ago the worst thing we had to worry about as World of Warcraft players was 9.1 being a bit late. What I'd give for those days,
Oh, wouldn't it be great to be back there? Wouldn't it be incredible?
Oh man, this content's a bit late. What are we gonna do? Fuck me.
I've aged a decade in the last 3 months. It's
same.
Oh,
Big
wow.